Check this out. I've said this before. You've heard me say that politics, voting, attention, resources, economics is quid pro quo. You've heard me say we got to get on code. You've heard me say we got to get on the empowerment agenda because voting, politics, attention, resources, economics is quid pro quo. In other words, you got to do something. You got to ask for something. You have to do something in return. So there's an old house song. It was a disco song, and it was "Let No Man Put Us Under" by First Choice. And the chorus was, "It's not over." So every time I've said "it's not over" in reference to the citizen review panel with investigatory and subpoena power, and I was saying "it's not over," I was talking about that. When I talked about that we have to pull up and really kind of work on getting qualified immunity, where our Democratic representatives who said, hey, put us in place, put us in the seat. We want to make sure that you're protected, and we want to provide, qualified immunity removal. And then they walked away from it. It's not over. It's the summertime coming. It's the pull-up summer. As a matter of fact, this is the era of pull-up. And this is what I mean. I had 2 children. And when my children were being guided and molded, when they were involved in doing something that, I really didn't think was in their best interest, I pulled up. I didn't just say from across the room, you better sit down, or from across the room, you better be quiet, or from across the room, you better put that down. No, I pulled up. I gave proximity. I gave connection. And that's what we're going to have to do with our great, beautiful country, the United States of America. We got to pull up. This is the pull-up summer. Some of us are celebrating that Derek Chauvin received. We don't know yet. We really don't know yet. We know what he could get. But the interesting thing about the judicial system is it's a system of I thinks. Like, it's a system of discretion. The police officers, thank them for their hard work and, keeping our city safe. The police officers have the discretion on how to interact with you. The lawyers have a little discretion in how they interact with you. The judges have their discretion into sentencing. The prosecutors have some discretion in what they're going to charge you with. It's a system of discretions. And for far too long, we've allowed the system to have all the discretion. And we've sat back and said, we're just going to pray on it. We sat back and said, things are going to change. We sat back and saying, and now this is the season. This is the summer. This is the era of pull up. So if we don't like what's happening in Elizabeth City, we mass up, we get our troops together, and we pull up. If we don't like what's happening in our city council, we show up, we pull up to those city council meetings. If we don't like what's happening in our school board, we pull up. This is how empowerment happens. This is how our empowerment happens. So to salute the poet laureate Cardi B, broke folks ain't got no power. I know that's right. So when I say broke, I'm talking about people who don't have the resources. And what are the resources you have? Pull up. The ability to pull up and let your presence be felt. Let your opinion be known. To tell those representatives, this is what we want. You work for us. You need to work with us. I know that's right. So this is the era of pull up, because truthfully, we have nothing to celebrate right now. So white supremacy had it wasn't even an L. It was a sacrifice. It was a sacrifice. But let's see what happens when we continue to pull up. If you notice, the things that changed is because en masse, we pulled up. In a situation in Windsor, once we became aware of it and we pulled up, then the police chief made a different decision than when it first happened and he was aware of it. If you look at what happened in Minnesota, they pretty much left that thing alone with Sister Taylor until we pulled up. And when we pulled up, things happened. Now, the things that needed to happen didn't happen yet. So we have to continue pulling up. This is the pull up era. So we want to say to you, it's not over. It's time to pull up. And that's my podium. So, one love to my beautiful country. My time is up. Peace out to Brooklyn. 2 up and 2 down for VA. OHIO. We love you. Brother Jose, que paso?
What's going on, gentlemen? What's going on? It's good to be back with my brothers. How's everything going?